Today we are going to write our very first program in Python. It's going to be awesome. If you are trying to get into Python programming or programming in general and you have not written a Python program ever in your life, you are in the right place. Python is a very powerful language and it's gaining more and more traction now because of the machine learning and AI community. So you made the right choice by starting to learn it. We will write a very simple Python program today. So without any further ado, let's jump into my computer. Okay, as the zeroth step, let's make sure we have Python installed. Some operating systems come with Python pre-installed, but some do not. To check this, let's open the terminal app. In Windows, it's called command prompt. Type python 3 space minus minus version, all simple. Press enter and you should see an output similar to this. If you get an error saying Python 3 is not recognized as a command or something, that means you don't have Python installed. It's a very easy and straightforward process to install Python though. So I'll leave a link to the Python wiki page in the description which describes how to do that. Now if you get any issues in this step, pause the video and post a comment with your issue. I'll try to help you resolve it as soon as possible. Hopefully all looks good now, so let's move on. Let's close this terminal for now. To write our program, we need a plain text editor. Note that I said plain text editor. You cannot use a rich text editor like Microsoft Word or WordPad for this. Most probably your operating system comes with a plain text editor installed, like Notepad in Windows, but there are a lot of better and free third-party alternatives out there, and I highly encourage you to use one. I use a free editor called Sublime Text. I'll leave a download link as well as few more alternatives in the description. I recommend using Sublime Text, but at this stage, just choose any of them without thinking about it too much. We'll settle on a more sophisticated tool for programming later in this video series. Okay, we have our text editor open now. Depending on your editor, it might ask you to create and save a file right away or present you with an empty file like this. Either way, let's save our file now. Choose a directory that makes sense to you. I'm saving this in development in my home directory, Python, and I'm creating a new directory called Hello World for this project. For your file, you can give any name, but use a name without any spaces so it will be easier for us later. I'll call this hello_world. After the name, you should put .py as the file type. .py is the file extension for Python source file types. Once saved, we have our empty canvas to write our program. Our goal here today is to print something on our terminal. If you have used the terminal or command prompt before, you might have come across programs like ls or dir which prints their results to the terminal output. Something like that, but simpler and also custom so we can print whatever we want. To show anything to the command line output, you can use a Python pre-built function called print. I'll elaborate on what a function is later, but for now, think of them as a way to achieve specific functionality. Python actually comes with a lot of these pre-built functions to make our lives a lot easier. So, to use the print function, type print, start and end bracket, then inside the brackets, start and end quotation marks. Notice that Sublime Text is closing the brackets and quotation marks for us. If your editor doesn't do that, make sure to manually close them. Quotation marks can be single or double quotation marks, but the pair has to match. Then inside the quotation marks, write anything that you need to output. It's a long-lived tradition to print Hello World into the screen as the first program when you learn a new programming language. So let's write Hello World. Save the changes. And we wrote our very first Python program. Underwhelming, isn't it? That's the thing about Python. Most of the time, you don't have to flip the world to get things done. That's why I said it's a very easy and very powerful language. So, now that we have written our program, let's execute and see the output. Let's open our terminal or command prompt again. Our terminal is initially looking at our home directory, so we need to navigate to the directory our program resides in. To do that, type cd, then space, and the location. In our case, it's tilde/development/python/hello world. Here tilde means the user's home directory. To make sure we are in the correct directory, type ls or in Windows dir, which shows all the files that are in this directory. You should see the program we wrote here. Okay, are you ready? It's time to execute our program. Type python 3 space hello_world.py and press enter. And voila, Just as we expected, we see the phrase "Hello World" printed out. Now, just for fun, let's change our program a bit. Just keep the terminal open and go to the editor again. Just below this line, let's add another print statement. Save the changes. Go back to the terminal and let's execute the program again. You see our newly added text as well as our original text printed out one after the other. As you see, each print statement prints the text in a new line. Nice. That concludes our very first Python program. Okay, to recap, we wrote a very basic Python program today to understand how to write and execute code and also to understand how easy Python programming language is. Onwards from the next video of this basic Python programming tutorial, we will learn Python in a more structured way, starting from Python data types. That's all for today. Subscribe to ByteXY, like the video if you liked it, and thank you so much for your time and see you back soon. Bye.